Folks, now what do you call it? I showed you the Ashoka's first Buddha relic stupa, which is now a sun temple in Pandarak. And then I showed you Chaperatar Megagachi, which was the capital of Pataliputra. And Huen Tsang says, I showed you Ashoka's hell, which is Sahanaura. Huen Tsang says that, south of the new capital was the old palace. The old palace in Kusumo Pulo, which he calls City of Flowers. Now Kusumo Pulo, the historians, sitting in Calcutta, New Delhi, etc., they have translated it as Kusumo Pura. They took it at face value, Kusumo Pulo. But south of Pandarak and Chaperatar Megagachi is Kanhaipur, that is Kusumo Pulo. Now, City of Flowers, Kanhail is a yellow flower which is very common in these parts. Kanhail is a yellow flower which is very common in these parts, and it is very common in Kanhaipur village. So that is your Kusumo Pulo, the old palace. And then Huen Tsang goes southeast from there to Ashoka's first sanghramma. That is Huen Tsang mispronounces it as Lanmo. Lanmo. And I have exactly southeast of Kanhaipur is Chintaman Chak. Chintaman is Lanmo. Chintaman. And Huen Tsang says it was his sort of Ashoka's first fruit. After his conversion from a cruel person to a Buddhist, a follower of the Buddha, Ashoka, he made his first sanghramma. So Lanmo was the first fruit. That means after Huen Tsang says after thinking a lot. Thinking a lot in Bihari is Chintaman Chak. Chintaman, matlab to think in your mind. So that is Ashoka's first sanghramma. And then Huen Tsang says next to it was Ashoka's relic stupa. Next to it was Ashoka's relic stupa, Omolokia, mispronounced by Huen Tsang as Omolokia. Now, Omolokia, but Fahin says there were two stupas. There were two sanghrammas. The first sanghrammas of Ashoka, there were two of them. And folks, there are two Chintaman Chaks. One is a Bhumiyar Chintaman Chak next to Mokameh village, and the other is a Yadav Chintaman Chak next to Pandarak village, which has the first Buddha relic stupa. Now, Huen Tsang says the stupa was in the name of a medicinal flower in India. So next to the Pandarak Chintaman Chak, the Yadav Chintaman Chak, is Lemuabad. Lemu is the medicinal fruit in India. It's a very common medicinal fruit in these parts. Even myself, in my childhood, anything would happen, stomach problems, diarrhea, parents would take lime and, one glass of water with lime. Generally, that controlled our diarrhea, etc. So that was the, medicinal fruit of India. But next to the Bhumiyar, the one that is southeast of Kusumo Pulo, that is Kanhaipur, the Bhumiyar Chintaman Chak, Kyuchan O Lanmo, is Mouldiar Tola. Now Mol is also Omolokia, which Huen Tsang says is the stupa. Omolokia is Mouldiar, and Omolokia also sounds similar to Lemuabad. Anyway, what do you call it? Mouldiar. Mul is the relics. Mul is the rubbish you get from the charnel ground after burning from the funeral pyre. So Mouldiar in Mokameh is the relic stupa of Ashoka, folks. The world is searching for it. Mouldiar Tola is the relic stupa. And Huen Tsang narrates a story of Ashoka when he was sick. His kingdom and his money, all his gold was snatched by his nephews who were his ministers. And they weren't obeying his orders. So he was having a lime, trying to recuperate. Anyway, one day what happened, half a lime was left. He wanted to give all his gold to the sanghramma in Kyuchao Lanmo, that is Chintaman Chak. But his nephews weren't giving it. So he told a servant to take this half lime to the monks and tell them that this is the only property which is left to Ashoka, please accept it. So the servant went and repeated this and told the monks, and the monks, they blessed him that he would recuperate. But it's not clear whether Ashoka recuperated after that or not, or he died. But anyway, the stupa is there, Lemuabad. Unfortunately, the highway passes over it and the stupa has flattened. So, what do you call it? There are two Ashoka relic stupas, folks. One is Mouldiar Tola in Mokameh. This is a very surprising fact. And the other is Lemuabad next to Pandarak and this other Chintaman Chak. See, Huen Tsang talks about one sanghramma, the first sanghramma of Ashoka. But Huen says there were two first sanghrammas. And there are two Chintaman Chaks, folks. Kyuchan O Lanmos. So, folks, this is your, Ashoka relic stupa. I have discovered it. Thank you.